Hello and welcome. My name is Matt Leckman. I am a products liability attorney and of counsel to the law firm of Bernheim Kelley, Batista & Bliss, and I am here today to talk about the Philips recall of CPAP and BiPAP machines and ventilators. We're going to talk about the reason for the recall, and if you are somebody who was impacted by the recall, whether or not you might be someone who is a candidate for a lawsuit relating to your use of the machine. So let's get started really quickly. First and foremost, this is not legal advice. This is for informational purposes only. But if you want to talk about a possible case, you can again contact us at Bernheim Kelley, Batista & Bliss. Call that 888 number that you see at the bottom of your screen, 888-530-1212, and you can talk to an attorney or legal staff who can help to evaluate whether or not you have a case. So with that said, let's talk a little bit about what's the recall about. What was the reason for the recall? And if you want to read up about it a little bit, you can go to the manufacturer's website, to Philips' website. It's up on your screen. If you go to that link, you will be directed to a place where you can do a couple of things. You can read about the voluntary recall information for starters. And you'll see that it looks like this. You'll see that first entry there under the heading where it says read the FSN recall notification. If you click on that link, it will take you to a PDF that explains the reason for the recall. This recall, as many of you who have these machines already know, was issued back in June of 2021. And the reason for the recall has to do with foam that is contained in many of these machines. As you know, these are CPAP and BiPAP machines and ventilators as well. CPAP stands for continuous positive airway pressure, and BiPAP stands for Bi-Level positive airway pressure. Two types of sleeping device machines that assist those who suffer from sleep apnea and sleeping at night. And many of these machines, all of the machines that are the subject of the recall, in fact, have a feature where the company added sound abatement foam. In other words, foam that lines most of the inside of the machine to reduce noise. And it's a comfort issue. It's so that the machines are not as loud when a patient is using the machine at night during their sleep. And the problem with the foam is two things that the company at some point learned about. First of all, the foam can actually physically degrade into tiny particles, physical particles that can be ingested or inhaled. And the foam can also off-gas certain harmful chemicals. In both instances, this foam can be toxic to the human body. It can be harmful to the health. It can cause very serious injuries, some of which can be life-threatening. And so there are a range of injuries and symptoms and health effects and impacts that can be had from the degradation of this sound abatement foam that has been added. And that is the reason for the recall. So there are a large number of machines that are the subject of this recall. And in asking, do I have a case, the first thing that you want to check, and the first part of answering that question, rather, is deciding and determining whether or not you have a machine that was covered by the recall. The recall was announced again by the company, Philips, and its subsidiary, Respironics, and done in conjunction or in communication with the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration. And again, if you go to Philips' website, you can see the affected device list is made available to the public and to consumers and patients. So if you click on the link, it'll take you to all of the machines that are listed on the website. And not only are machines listed, but importantly, pictures of the machines are listed to help guide you and match up the machine that you have at home with what's provided on the website to see if you are someone, again, who has a recalled machine and has been impacted by this massive recall. The other very easy way you can know if you have a recalled device is if your healthcare provider or your insurer or Philips themselves has put you on notice and given you a notification of a recalled device. So two easy ways. You either got a notice from your healthcare provider or for the company, or you can go directly to Philips' website and find out if your device is one of the listed recall devices. But that's really only part of answering the question, do I have a case? The second crucial part of answering that question, do I have a case, is understanding whether or not you've been injured and how you've been injured and what's been injured and whether you've been diagnosed. Our firm is investigating injuries to the lungs, as you can see on the screen, the lungs, the liver, the kidneys, and conditions of the blood. Those are the main categories of injuries that we are looking for, and that we are, when we interview an incoming or potential client, we are asking about injuries to those areas of the body. The lungs meaning respiratory injuries or potentially even lung cancer. But something as simple as the onset of new asthma or even the worsening of existing asthma. Same with COPD, new COPD or worsening COPD, both respiratory injuries that we're investigating. Liver cancer, kidney cancer, leukemia, all of these are potential areas of investigation and concern. And if you have a diagnosis from a medical doctor or from a healthcare professional relating to one of these areas, then you have a potential case if you have a recall device. And so some of the critical questions that we'll ask you if we interview you as a client, are you reporting those symptoms, or have you reported those symptoms to a doctor? Have you been diagnosed with an actual condition, lung cancer, liver cancer, leukemia, and are you being treated? How are you being treated? And so those are really the short checklist of questions that you want to go through to determine, do I have a case, and should I contact an attorney to help me investigate whether or not I might have a lawsuit relating to the CPAP, BiPAP, and ventilator recall done by Philips Manufacturing. So again, I'm Matt Leckman. I'm a products liability attorney at Bernheim Kelley, Batista & Bliss. Our number, 888-530-1212, is on the screen. And if you think you have a case and you want to talk to an attorney or a legal professional to help you investigate that, please do give us a call. Thank you for your time.